Hey guys, and welcome to the video. Today we are going to be talking about the 5 best watches under $1,000. There are so many in this price category, it was really hard to narrow it down, but I have my top picks and we will see what those picks are after this intro. Roll it! Alright guys, so the first watch on my list, and I actually have a list here with me so I don't completely mess this up. The first watch on our list is one that I actually really want. It is the Hamilton Pan Europ. This is the one with the blue dial. Oh, it has a red second hand and the blue dial. It just goes together so well. On Amazon right now, it's about $760. It's pretty sporty. It actually is a redone watch. Back in the 70s, I think like 1969, the very first automatic chronograph was released by Hamilton, and that was part of the Pan Europ line. So this is the new kind of re-updated version. This watch is not a chronograph. They did release chronograph versions of these watches, but they were limited editions. So the rest of us are just stuck with the regular automatic, no chronograph function version of this watch, but it is still a very good version of the watch. It has a deployment clasp, and it has an ETA 2824 based movement, although the frequency is slowed down, so it ticks at 3 Hertz or 6 times per second, which is kind of unusual for ETA 2824 movements. Usually they tick at 4 Hertz or 8 ticks per second. So the movement is a little bit less smooth on this watch, but the benefit of slowing down the movement is actually that the watch has an 80-hour power reserve, which means you can take it off Friday after you get back from work and put it back on Monday before you go into the office, and you won't have to reset it, which is really cool. The one thing I would say about this watch, the movement is very beautifully decorated. I am very jealous. I wish I had a watch with such a beautifully decorated movement. And then it is 44 millimeters, and that's the diameter of the watch. So that is a little bit big, especially for my teeny tiny wrists. I'm actually not wearing a watch today. What? It's too hot. It's hot in here. And then also this watch comes with 2 straps. It comes with a leather kind of racing style strap with the holes cut out in the strap, and if you've seen one of these straps before, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you'll think I'm crazy, but I'm going to put a picture up right now. And then it also comes on a nice red, white, and blue NATO strap, and you actually get both of these when you purchase the watch, which is kind of cool. You get some variety in how you wear the watch. All right, I'm going to move on because I don't want this video to be a million years long. Up next, we have the Tissot Powermatic 80, and that was actually the watch that I was supposed to be wearing when filming this video, but I forgot. This is a watch that I actually own. Right now, it's $610 on Amazon. Definitely more of a dress-style watch. It has an 80-hour power reserve like the Pan Europ. It is also 2824 based. And it also ticks at 3 Hertz. So the movements are pretty identical with these watches, but the style is completely different. You can see from the pictures that I'm putting up. It is a dress watch. It has a black, very nice dial with a lot of different layers to it, which is really cool. I would say the movement to this watch is well decorated. Not as well decorated as the Pan Europ, but it is still pretty well decorated. This watch is smaller than the Pan Europ. It comes in at 41 millimeters, which is almost perfect, I would say, for my smaller wrists. And then it also is chronometer certified, so it has a certain accuracy test that it's made it through. So it would probably be more accurate than the Pan Europ. And this watch only has the date. The Pan Europ, I forgot to mention, has the day and the date on the dial. This watch just has the date. And I think that it actually works well on this watch, only having the date. I think adding the day would actually add too much to the dial and ruin the aesthetic of the watch. All right, we're moving on to number 3. We have the Oris Aquis date, and technically right now the watch is going for $1,010 on Amazon, but as always with these buying guides, I kind of try and stretch your budget a little bit more so I can pack more watch in here. But the Oris Aquis date, obviously from the pictures, is a diver. It's actually a different type of movement than the other 2 watches. It has a Sellita-based movement. The power reserve is 38 hours, which is kind of low. The industry standard is about 42 hours. So it's on the lower side. But this watch actually ticks at 4 Hertz, which is pretty crazy. It's very smooth as it moves across the dial. It also has a date, but it is 43 millimeters, so it is a pretty large watch. As a diver, obviously, it has 300 meters of water resistance, It has a ceramic unidirectional rotating bezel, which is good for timing the amount of length you have left on your dive. And then it also has a screw-down crown and a really wonderful metal bracelet with a metal deployant clasp, which is really cool. That's actually the first watch on this list with a metal bracelet. You can get it cheaper with a rubber bracelet if you really want to save the $10. But honestly, I would recommend just getting the metal bracelet because if you wanted to buy that aftermarket, it would be much more expensive. All right, moving on, we have another Oris in the 4th position on our list. It is the Big Crown ProPilot. Wow, Big Crown ProPilot. I can say it. And this is the date version. This comes in at about $980. Really, really amazing design, I would say, on this watch. Obviously, it's a pilot's watch where legibility and function are above all else, and that's actually probably why I'm drawn to this watch so much. Again, this is based on the Sellita movement, so it has a 38-hour power reserve and ticks at 4 Hertz or 8 ticks per second. We decided to pick the ProPilot date because it's 41 millimeters, just like the Tissot Powermatic 80. So it's smaller, and it would look good on smaller wrists all the way to medium, and I would even say on large wrists 41 millimeters would work, although it would be on the smaller end. One really cool feature of the watch is that it has some knurling on the bezel and the crown. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about by knurling, I didn't before I actually looked at it. I'm going to put up a picture here. The ProPilot date obviously has a date function, which doesn't really ruin the symmetry of the dial. It has it at the 3 o'clock position. It has a red second hand, which I love. I don't know why I'm so drawn to red second hands. I just am. And I have on my list here great aesthetics, because it really, really does have great aesthetics. And if someone were to give me $1,000 just for the use of purchasing a watch, I would buy that watch. But that's just me. All right, the last watch on our list is the Sinn 556. You can get this with either Arabic or indices. And depending on which you get, it's either the Sinn 556A or the 556I. both of them are $1,020. Again, I'm pushing your budget just a tad here. Come on, get the extra $20 if you really want the watch. You can do it. In my opinion, you know, if there's a watch that you really, really want and it's just a little bit more money than you're willing to spend, you should save up for it and then get the one you really, really want. Collecting watches is not about making compromises, it's about getting what you want. That sounds kind of bad, but anybody who owns a watch out there will totally understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, again, the Sinn 556 is a pilot watch just like the Oris ProPilot. It has the indices or the Arabic numerals. I already talked about that. Geez, I'm an idiot. Should have had a V8. And then it actually has a 42-hour power reserve. It ticks at 4 Hertz, and it's ETA 2824 based, which is a Swiss movement. It has a date function like all the other watches on this list, but it doesn't have the day. It's German made, so it's not Swiss made. It's not a Swiss watch. It's German made, but you know how the Germans are, all straight to the point, no jokes, no giggles. I'm German, so I'm allowed to say that. I can't make any jokes. Again, this is also very minimalist. The German kind of style for a watch design is very utilitarian and minimalist, so I think that that is really accurately reflected in the Sinn 556i. And then the last note I have on this watch is actually that the Sinn brand is known for making much more expensive watches. So if you, I don't know, want to nerd out with watch people, I don't know why you'd want to do that, but if you wanted to nerd out with watch people and brag, oh, I have a Sinn, they're going to think, you know, you have a $2,000 or $3,000 watch, even though it, you know, it only cost you $1,020. So that's really cool. I have one of the watches on this list, but to be honest, I really want all of them. Maybe sometime in the future I'll have them and I'll review them on this channel, but not right now. So if you enjoyed this buying guide, or if it helped you out, please hit that like button and subscribe if you'd like to see some more watch videos. My name is Josh, and I will see you all later. Oh, I forgot to say, thank you for watching. Get it? Watch? Yeah. I should have kids because that was a wonderful dad joke.